Hello again, welcome to the third chapter, Seeing Something in Nothing, the tricks and powers of our minds. This is the last chapter. We're going to continue discussing about applied creativity, and we're talking about the fourth and fifth point that we had in the previous list in the previous video. Now, that being said, let's go into the fourth point here, where the use of abstract and applying the principle of working inside and outside a shape that might become an interesting exercise that would help your creativity and imagination. Working inside a shape and outside a shape. So here we have like the general shape, and here I'm working inside of it. So I'm just doing some cuts here and there, and voila, that's what we got. This is like a little robot here. And here is basically me working outside a shape. It became something totally different. Like it kind of becomes something totally else. And of course, from this process, we go into the fifth step here, where we have the daily practice that is very important. Spending from 30 minutes to 45 minutes daily will help you explore more ideas and develop an active process of imagination development. And there's passive imagination and, of course, this active imagination that I'm talking about here. So the kind of like trope, the main trope that you guys have to understand is that the passive imagination is like comes usually through conversations that you're having with people. Like if you're talking with somebody about something, they're gonna say something, you're gonna say something else. That kind of like just comes on the fly. That is passive, kind of like latent inside of you or inside of your brain or inside of your mind. And it kind of sprouts out, in conversation. That's usually passive imagination, and then it comes to a surface by being active through conversation. Okay. And of course, the active imagination is where you're sitting there by yourself, no conversation, nobody, right? And you try to come up with things. That is active. So that is you trying to pull things from your brain or your mind and actually put it on the canvas. And here I have an example here, where I took like what I had previously in here, and I did these practices where I did some variants of these robots, and they look very different. They seem to have interesting purposes as well. And practice is key and should accompany you through everything you learn. And again, I cannot stress this enough, but that is pretty much what happens with the creative process itself. So, at the end, I want to thank you guys for taking your time going through the theory and seeing something in nothing, the tricks and powers of our mind, and the conversation we had about how to apply these from a creative standpoint. What we'll do, we're going to have a very cool demo, and from there, we're going to move to the third week.